homeward journey of the soul. The homeward journey of the soul consists in freeing itself from the illusion of being identical with its bodies, gross, subtle, and mental. When the attention of the soul turns towards self-knowledge and self-realization, there is a gradual loosening and disappearance of the samskaras that keep consciousness turned toward the phenomenal world. The disappearance of the samskaras proceeds side by side with piercing through the veil of cosmic illusion, and the soul not only begins to transcend the different states of the phenomenal world, but also to know itself as different from its bodies.
So now we're entering into the path that takes us out of that predicament. And mostly in modern spirituality, the path has to draw on the mental, the mind's capacity to collaborate with the unfolding of the changes that are occurring in the spirit, in the spiritual self. So the mind in that place comes to a place from thinking it knows, unquestioning, to thinking it knows and discovering it doesn't know, to knowing it doesn't know. So the stages of evolution of consciousness when spirit awakens is we come out of the rigidities of our thinking, the rigidities and the inflexibilities of our positions, our projections, our stories about ourselves and others in the world. We come out of recognizing we actually don't know. This may take 5, 10, 100 lifetimes. But eventually you get to the place where I really don't know. And then there's their own drift when that happens, because then it all seems meaningless. But in there is an inherent growing of a capacity of a different kind of knowing, a different kind of understanding, one that calls for a quality I call recognition, where the ego mind is no longer calculating and evaluating the benefit of whatever new thing it's learning. Rather, it's moving into relationship with it, and it begins to recognize it. Recognition leads to a moving, a reorienting of our attention to that which we're recognizing. And that quality of our consciousness changes in the process of attending to that recognition, and a new kind of knowing becomes articulate. It starts revealing the nature of things. They come from not just a recognition, but a revealing of what it is you've recognized. And this revealing of it forms a naming, a languaging, of being able to describe it as this versus that. It becomes articulate. It becomes real. And when it becomes real, then you're in the state of realization, realizing the underlying foundation of whatever it is that you're recognizing. And that's the kind of knowing that gets developed, not the mind, not the literature, not the techniques, not the methods, not what past teachers have left behind, but from direct, real experience. The Bhagavad Gita says in the 4th chapter, the Yoga of Knowledge, it's a different kind of knowing, and inherent in this development of this shift of attention comes a quality of faith, a willingness to let go of the fear thing, the willingness to let go beyond the structures that kept us separate, a willingness to go beyond what we know. Faith and knowing are immediate and deeply intertwined. And the depth of our knowing is also proportional to the depth of our faith. And that depth is determined by how deeply we have met the samskaras that keep us from knowing, keep us from trusting, keep us from being willing to allow life to show us what it is we need to know, what we need to experience, what we need to recognize to come out of the condition that we are now recognizing. To become that new kind of knower, you become a finder, a discoverer of something that was always here all along, but you weren't paying attention. You didn't know it was there.